15th, 2019. We have in attendance with us the following city officials. If I skip anybody, I totally apologize. Mayor Kathy Catazero Perry, Safety Service Director Barb Sylvester, Law Director Andrea Scazza, Community Development Director Samantha Walters, Economic Development Director David Maley, Police Captain Paul Covert, Income Tax Director Lori Moron, new employees that I'd like to introduce: Jody DeStephanis, Civil Service Director, Flex Store, Code Enforcement Officer, Trevor Griffiths, Code Enforcement Officer. And I'd like to introduce Jason Harris, who is going to be replacing Mylan Choden. Item number 5 on the agenda is where the citizens can get up and speak on any item that appears on tonight's agenda. And then again, under number 17 is where the public can speak on any item that did not appear on tonight's agenda. I'd like to remind you, if you have a cell phone, please set it to vibrate or turn it off. Roll call.
Creamer.
Present.
Cunningham.
Present.
Gray.
Here.
Harris.
Here.
Irwin.
Here.
Lewis.
Present.
Lippman.
Here.
Manson.
Here.
And Starrett.
Here.
Roll call of 9 present.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Call for the county board. Councilman Starrett.
Please join me in the Lord's Prayer. All
Hallowed be thy name, thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever. Amen. Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, are the minutes of the previous meeting transcribed and open for public viewing?
They are transcribed, but they are not posted to the website, as our website is down today.
Thank you. Before we get into remarks of delegations of citizens on the matter on the agenda, I'd like to have Alex Zumbar and Joe Wallace from the County Treasurer's Office come forward up here. And they'd like to make a brief presentation.
She's going to stay out there.
Okay.
Thank you, Madam President, members of council, and members of the administration. My name is Alex Zumbar. I'm the Stark County Treasurer. Thank you. I'll restart. Madam President, members of council, members of administration, thank you for allowing me to be here this evening to talk to you tonight about the Fix It Fund program. My name is Alex Zumbar. I am the Stark County Treasurer, and my office address is 110 Central Plaza South, Suite 250, Canton, Ohio, 44702. You have with you in front of you a brochure that was placed by Deputy Treasurer Jim Wallace, who will be running the Fix It Fund program. This is a program that has been approved by the Stark County Commissioners, and we are in its inaugural year. It began on April 1st and runs through July 31st for the next 4 successive years, including this year as well. The Fix It Fund program is designed to allow homeowners with a valuation of $250,000 or less, according to the Stark County Auditor's valuation, building value only, and as long as you're current on your real estate taxes, you can apply for this particular program. And if, based upon your credit score and your credit worthiness, could qualify for up to 2% off the going rate of a loan to address projects that perhaps you have put off for several years and are now able to perhaps pursue those projects. Those projects could be interior projects, such as a bathroom remodel, kitchen remodel, new furnaces, water tanks, exterior projects such as water lines, gas lines, replacing the septic line, doing a patio, roof, siding, windows. The loans start at a minimum of $5,000 and go up to a maximum of $50,000. So you may have to bundle several of the projects together to get to that minimum $5,000 level. You can only go up to $50,000 maximum, again, based upon your credit score. Once you get through those first two qualifiers from our office, that is, you must be current on your real estate taxes and your building value is $250,000 or less. Again, building value only, not land. If you meet those two qualifiers, you then move on in the application process with one of the three participating banks. The three participating banks are Westfield, Farmers National, and First Commonwealth. They are located inside the brochure, and you see them in the lower right hand. The application and this brochure is available on Stark County Treasurer's website, and we are asking that you folks link that to your website to direct folks to this information. Although the program is coming to a close in the window here of July 31st, we certainly encourage folks to review this, and perhaps you'll consider applying for it next year. This, again, is in its inaugural year in Stark County this year, but it has been based on a program out of Medina County, and that county treasurer has his in place now for almost 13 years. He's loaned out almost $18 million. So he's done very well. It's a very good program. It's designed to improve the community and also ultimately improve Stark County. It is linked with our deposit programs that we have with these banks. So in essence, the money is safe with the banks. I have to deposit funds with them anyways. In this case, I will not earn as much interest as I possibly could. However, that money is being reinvested in Stark County, and more than likely it will be local contractors that are getting the business work as well as, of course, a local bank. You do not have to be a member of this participating bank, any one of those three banks. You do not have to have an account with them. It's, again, all based upon your credit worthiness. You do not have to have an income level either, so there's no income level testing. Again, it's all based upon your credit worthiness once you get through those first two hurdles. Deputy Treasurer Wallace's phone number is 330-451-7822. It is on the back side of this brochure, as well as our contact information. Again, the information that is in this brochure, as well as the application, is available on our website, and you can download it. Just as I said, there are qualifying projects, there are several disqualifying projects. So, Mr. Lewis, you cannot put in that hot tub or that swimming pool that I know that you wanted to do. With that being said, are there any questions? Yes, ma'am.
You said that is, the window's closing this year. When does it start back on next year? January 1st, or what's the window?
April 1st to July 31st each year. To date, there have been over 168 applications of $330,000 potentially being loaned. Yes, ma'am.
You show a rate or a 2% below the current interest rate. What about the term?
The term is between you and the bank. Generally, I believe it's 5 years.
So generally 5 years. Will it extend further or not for larger projects?
Well, it's, again, between you and the bank, but what I'm seeing is it's probably a 5-year loan because that currently is what our span of time is. We're going to have to go back to the commissioners, provide them with all the end results each year, and hopefully this project is very successful and will continue this on into the future as Medina County has done. It's a very successful program. A lot of folks have taken advantage of it here in Stark County, and we certainly encourage people to at least take a look at it. There's no harm for you attempting to apply and qualify. The money is all safe. It's basically, it's the bank's money. It's not our money that's being given to the folks. They have to pay it back. And ultimately, the property is going to increase in value, and ultimately, the auditor is going to pick that value up, and that's how we get repaid in the long run. Yes, ma'am.
Is this for single-family homes only?
No. It is, it also,
Multifamily
yes,
as well?
ma'am.
Apartment buildings?
You can talk with the bank. It's inside the brochure, but it was multifamily, single-family as well.
I'm sorry, I didn't have a chance to read that.
That's okay. No, these are great questions. You're asking, you're right along with it.
Got one more.
Keep going. I'll
Do
answer
you
them.
have, in in the brochure, I did read, the program is available to almost all homeowners. Give me an example of where it is not available.
Remember the qualifiers. You must be $250,000 in value or less, building value only, and also current on your real estate taxes. You can imagine there are some folks that are not current on the real estate taxes, so they would not qualify. 98%, 97.9% of the single-family homes in Stark County would qualify based on valuation alone, not real estate taxes paid. Yes, sir, in the back.
Are there inspections to make sure that the money is used for the purpose loaned for?
There are requirements, number one, that you will have to meet with the bank as well as the Stark County Treasurer's Office and your local building inspectors and any enforcement action that would be required by the local authority. If you are not under a local authority and you go through the county, it would be the county building department. That's a question that's asked quite often in our townships. You guys are our 35th visit. So we have been out pounding the ground and talking to villages, townships, and municipalities. We tried to get here early, but unfortunately we could not make it for you. But the program is going to be running for the next at least foreseeable 4 years, which is still ample time for folks to take advantage of the program, think of the projects they'd like to do, and possibly see if they can qualify, and then talk to one of the participating banks. Go ahead, sir.
Is there any limit on the size of the pool, the money that's going to be loaned?
Yes, the amount of money that I have set aside is $5 million at this point in time, depending on the program itself. I have to go back to the county commissioners and tell them, hey, it's been such a great success. They've used up the available funds. We have to see if we can't put some more in. They'll let us know. Again, our money will ultimately be determined after each window is completed of each year. That's why we have a cutoff, so I know how much I have to put in the bank. Go ahead, ma'am.
The application needs to be received before July 31st. Sometimes banks take several weeks to
Yes,
approve them.
we recognize that, so we have our own internal cutoff of July 31st. We know that the bank, or whichever bank that you're working with, may have some additional weeks to process that information, and we build that into our planning as well. We would prefer them to get the application back by July 31st, our office. Keep in mind, folks throughout the next coming months are going to plan on what projects they may want to do. They also have to arrange to get an estimate by a contractor, so given that short time frame, it might not be this year that they're going to apply for that, but they'll plan for it and hopefully see if they can qualify in the interim, get their ducks in a row, and get those applications into us starting April 1st of next year. Unless they've got their stuff already planned. If they're on the ball, they'll have this going. We've had this advertised in the media multiple times in the newspapers as well as on radio. Yes, sir?
Do you start?
Microphone, please.
Do you start approving them right away in April and as they come in, or?
April 1st, when they start, generally what we've seen is it doesn't take Jim long to go through the first two qualifiers. It's then passing them along to the bank. We've had 168 applications. I know to date at least there are 16 that we know have definitely been approved. Any other questions? If not, thank you all for your time. Please do us a favor and link us on your website to get the word out to the residents. This available program, it's not going to cost them anything. If at the least, it's going to probably save them some if they qualify. So we certainly encourage folks to take a look at it. It's in their best interest. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Mr. Dunbar.
Yes, ma'am. Take care. Take care. There you go. We're going to have Jim leave some of the clerk. Ladies, have a good evening. Nice to see you.
We have arrived at number 5 on the agenda, is where the citizens may speak on any item that appears on tonight's agenda. If you wish to do so, please come forward, state your name, address, and topic you wish to discuss. There should be a sign-in sheet from the table in front of you. Before you take your seat, make sure you sign it with your name and address for our records. And please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
And please print.
And please print. move into introduction of ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 94, 2019.
An ordinance directing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to enter into a contract agreement with various programs through the Community Development Block Grant programs for the fiscal year 2019-2020, which the city has provided through CDBG program funding and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Manson.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. We've been through CDBG money several times this year. All we are is appropriating it and getting it to the groups that we approved for it. So unless there's some questions, I intend to move this forward tonight. Seeing nothing, I make a motion that we waive the rule requiring 3 separate readings and bring ordinance 94, 2019 forward for passage.
Seconded by Councilman Cunningham. Roll call for suspension.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Yes.
Harris, Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
and Creamer.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 suspension.
And for passage.
Gray,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
and Cunningham.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 94, 2019 is passed. Ordinance number 95, 2019.
An ordinance authorizing the Safety Service Director of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to enter into a memorandum of understanding, an MOU, with Johnson Controls to do a preliminary assessment for a potential facilities upgrade project of city buildings and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Manson.
First reading.
Thank you. Ordinance number 95, 2019 has received first reading. Ordinance number 96, 2019.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of the 1100 General Fund for the NIP program for the year ending December 31st, 2019, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, this ordinance is appropriation of $121,732.10. It's a reimbursement program through the land bank of the county, and it is a program that assists us in demolitions of homes that are beyond repair in our community. Are there any questions or discussion this evening? Seeing none, I make the motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, being ordinance number 96-2019 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Starrett. Roll call for suspension.
Harris,
Yes.
Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
and Gray.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 suspension.
And for passage.
Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
and Harris.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 96, 2019 is passed. Ordinance number 97, 2019.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of the 1203 Community Development Block Grant CDBG program fund for fiscal year 2019-2020 for the year ending December 31st, 2019, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, this ordinance coincides with the ordinance that we passed out of community development, CDBG appropriation, approval. Now this is appropriating those dollars that we approved. Questions or discussion this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, being ordinance number 97-2019 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Littman. Roll call for suspension.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
and Irwin.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 suspension.
And for passage.
Littman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Irwin,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 97, 2019 is passed. Ordinance number 98, 2019.
An ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of 1100 general fund for hospital and associated expenses related to Affinity Medical Center for the year ending December 31st, 2019, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, this appropriation is for $394,104.20. It is to cover the estimated cost due to the end of 2019 for the hospital, expenses related to it, I should say. With this appropriation, the city would still remain what we call in the black. We've had more revenue than we have had cost at this point on that particular property. Are there any questions or discussions? Seeing none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring three readings, reading ordinance number 98-2019 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Manson. Roll call for suspension.
Manson,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Kramer, Cunningham,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Harris, Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
and Litton.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Starrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
and Manson.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 98, 2019 is passed. Ordinance number 99, 2019.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Massillon, Ohio to accept a donation from Massillon Cable TV, MCTV, in sponsorship of the Neighborhood Community Fair and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
This is exactly as it says. It was a donation for the community fair that occurred this past weekend. Are there any questions or discussion? Seeing none, I make a motion to suspend the rules requiring three readings, reading ordinance number 99-2019 forward for a vote.
Second by Councilman Starrett. Roll call for suspension.
Kramer,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
and Starrett.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
and Kramer.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 99, 2019 is passed. Resolution number 2, 2019.
Yes, this is a resolution, and I'm going to read it in its entirety, if it's okay with council. A memorial resolution to recognize and honor the outstanding public service and recent passing of Councilman Michael Chilton Jr. Whereas Massillon City Council wishes to acknowledge the explanatory public service of Michael Chilton Jr. and express its condolences to his family. And whereas Michael passed away while serving as councilman at large, and whereas his fellow council members showed their respect for him by appointing him as chairman of the Police and Fire Committee. And whereas City Councilor Myron E. Chilton Jr. was a tireless servant of this city and had a passion for the Massillon Police and Fire Departments, and whereas he demonstrated outstanding commitment, loyalty, and devotion to Massillon City Council as councilman at large. And whereas the memory of a good man is a blessing and he will be sadly missed by family, friends, and the community. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the City of Massillon, State of Ohio, that through this memorial resolution, Massillon City Council expresses its deepest condolences in the passing of Mylan E. Chilton Jr. and extends its sincere sympathy to his family.
Councilman Manson.
Thank you, Madam President. I would like to make a motion that we waive the rule requiring 3 separate readings and bring Board Resolution 2 forward for passage.
Second by Councilman Littman. Roll call for suspension.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Kramer,
Yes.
and Cunningham.
Yes.
9 yes for Suspension.
and for passage.
Harris.
Yes.
Irwin.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Littman.
Yes.
Nancy.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Dana? Yes. Cunningham?
Yes.
And Gray.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 2, or resolution number 2, 2019 is passed. And Councilman Chilton will be greatly missed. He did a wonderful job in council. For number 7 on the agenda, any unfinished business?
No, there is not.
Before we go any further, they had talked about the picnic in the park, at Jones Park. Mayor, would you like to come up and give any comments? I was there at the beginning, and it looked like it's going to be very lovely.
Thank you, Madam President, members of council. We spent Saturday from 11 to 4 with a handful of volunteers. I'd like to thank Councilwoman Creamer. She manned a booth and gave away a car seat. MCTV gave away MCTV gave away a television set, and they also gave us $750 to help keep the train. We had the Lions train there, free lunch. Altman Hospital did an amazing job. They sponsored the tent, and they also brought fresh fruit, oranges and apples. I would say we had 100 plus people that came through the event. Everyone that was an organization that attended said this was the perfect idea. They'd love to come back again. I know Councilman Lewis came and Council President Exnick, so we appreciate you coming. But we did make an impact, and we did connect people to resources, and our committee will be meeting next week. If you'd like to join us, you're welcome to sit on that committee and be a member of council. But we're talking about doing the Southwest next and trying to get that done sometime in September.
Thank you. Number 8, petitions and general communications.
Yes, we have a request for a transfer of a liquor license from William R. Miller, doing business at the Hideaway Lounge, 34 Diamond Court Southeast, Massillon, Ohio, 44646. To Holly Ann Graver, doing business at Hideaway Lounge, 34 Diamond Court Southeast, Massillon, Ohio, 44646. Permit class of B5 and is located in Ward 2.
Councilman Irwin, did you get a copy of this?
Yes, I did.
Thank you. Bills, accounts, and claims. Do we have any bills?
Yes, we have a bill in the amount of $388 to the repository for the publication of our May ordinances. And we have a bill in the amount of $154.79 to a Victorian reflection for a fruit basket and floral arrangement.
Councilman Lewis,
Make a motion to pay the bills.
second by Councilman Littman. Roll call.
Irwin.
Yes.
Lewis.
Yes.
Littman.
Yes.
Nancy.
Yes.
Starrett.
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
And Harris.
Yes.
9 yes to pay the bills.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Bills will be paid and charged into their proper accounts. Are there any reports from city officials?
Yes, we have the treasurer's report for June 2019, the mayor's report for May of 2019, and the auditor's report for May of 2019.
Councilman Lewis,
Make a motion that we receive the auditor's report.
second by Councilman Littman. Roll call.
Littman.
Yes.
Manson.
Yes.
Starrett.
Yes.
Kramer.
Yes.
Cunningham.
Yes.
Gregg.
Yes.
Harris. And Irwin.
Yes.
9 yes to accept the auditor's report.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. The auditor's report has been accepted. Number 11, reports of committees. Our next work session will be not next Monday, the 22nd, but will be the 29th, since there's 5 Mondays in the month. Committee meetings are the second and last Monday of the month. So we are on next Monday. Resolutions and requests of council members. Councilman Littman.
I just wanted to mention that I have had an opportunity to speak with the ODOT project coordinator out on the west side. There was conversation last work session regarding that project. He's given me an estimated, I'll say, open date for the road, Friday, July 19th, provided there's no additional weather delays. So I did want to make that a public record.
Thank you. Anyone else? Call a calendar. Third reading ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 77, 2019.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor of the city of Massillon, Ohio, to accept a grant from the First Energy Corporation to be used for the city's Renaissance of Duncan Plaza project.
Councilman Manson.
Yes, we discussed this for another 6 weeks now. This is third reading. I move that we bring it forward for a vote.
Roll call.
Littman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Sterling,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Cunningham,
No.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harris,
No.
Irwin,
Yes.
and Lewis.
Yes.
7 yes, 2 no, for ordinance number 77, 2019.
Thank you. Ordinance number 77, 2019 is passed. Ordinance number 90, 2019.
An ordinance amending the wage scale of section 2D, occupation list of class titles of ordinance number 127, 1997, 305, police department, specifically only for the positions of police chief and police captain, and enacting a new wage scale of section 2D, occupation list of class titles of ordinance number 127, 1997, 305, police department, specifically only for the positions of police chief and police captain in the city of Massillon, Ohio, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis.
Yes, this ordinance is an adjustment that needs to be made with our current contract with the police department. Set scales for the officers within the department as to how their pay is calculated. Are there any questions or discussion this evening? I make a motion that we move forward with ordinance number 90-2019 for a vote.
Roll call.
Manson,
Yes.
Starrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis, Littman,
Yes.
9 yes, 4 passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 90, 2019 is passed. Second reading ordinances and resolutions. Ordinance number 91, 2019.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to enter into an agreement to transfer hospital equipment items from the City of Massillon to the Community Improvement Corporation of Massillon, Ohio, the CIC, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Manson.
Yes, thank you, Madam President. It's my intention to move this forward. All we're doing is selling all part of the equipment that we had at the hospital. Unless there's any questions. Seeing none, I make a motion that we waive the rule requiring 3 separate readings and bring ordinance 91, 2019 forward for passage.
Second by Councilman Litton. Roll call for suspension.
Starrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harris, Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
and Manson.
Yes.
9 yes, 4 suspension.
And for passage.
Creamer,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Littman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
and Sterrett. 9 yes, 4 passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 91, 2019 is passed. Ordinance number 92, 2019.
An ordinance authorizing the Director of Public Service and Safety of the City of Massillon, Ohio, to enter into an agreement to transfer hospital medical equipment, furniture, furnishings, and other non-essential items from the City of Massillon to the Community Improvement Corporation of Massillon, Ohio, CIC, and declare an emergency.
Wilson?
Yes, thank you, Madam President. Are there any questions? Seeing none, I make a motion to waive the rule requiring 3 separate readings and bring ordinance 92, 2019 forward for passage.
Second by Councilman Littman. Roll call for suspension.
Cunningham,
Yes.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harris, Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lippman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
and Freeman.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Gregg,
Yes.
Harris,
Yes.
Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lippman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
and Cunningham.
Yes.
9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 92, 2019 is passed. Ordinance number 93, 2019.
And for those that have the agenda, 92 is on there twice, that's a typo. Ordinance number 93 is an ordinance making certain appropriations from the unappropriated balance of the 1240 Veterans Park Duncan Plaza Improvement Fund for the year ending December 31st, 2019, and declaring an emergency.
Councilman Lewis?
Yes, this ordinance is just $5,000 appropriation to help with the current maintenance and supplies that are needed at the current Veterans Park in Duncan Plaza. Any questions or discussion this evening? Seeing none, I make a motion that we suspend the rules requiring 3 readings, reading ordinance number 93-2019 for approval.
Second by Councilman Sterrett. Roll call for suspension.
Harris,
Yes.
Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lippman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
and Gregg.
Yes.
9 yes for suspension.
And for passage.
Irwin,
Yes.
Lewis,
Yes.
Lippman,
Yes.
Manson,
Yes.
Sterrett,
Yes.
Creamer,
Yes.
Cunningham,
Yes.
and Gregg.
Yes.
Yes, 9 yes for passage.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. Ordinance number 93, 2019 is passed. Is there any new miscellaneous business? We have item number 17 on our agenda. Where anyone from the audience may come forward to talk about any topic that did not appear on tonight's agenda. Again, if you wish to do so, state your name, address, and topic you wish to discuss, and please limit your comments to 3 minutes.
My name is Kathy Reiser. I live at 831 Reservoir Drive Northeast. And when we pulled in the parking lot today, on the outside wall of the building were the handicap parking signs with a wheelchair on it. And we found the parking place. It is well marked. And you have a beautiful cement ramp coming up to the front doors. But the doors are not handicap capable. We have double doors that are 2 close together, and there's a threshold there, and I think that this is something that council really needs to address. You know, if you're gonna advertise that this building is a handicapped building, you've gotta have the door to go with it. So I'm hoping that you will talk about this, make it an emergency, forego 3 readings, and get on the project right away, because there's probably a lot of other people in the city who would like to come to the council meeting that are in wheelchairs, but they can't because they can't get through the doors. So I'm lucky enough to have a husband that can struggle to get me through, but there are those people that may not have anybody to help them. And so I'm asking council to take into consideration of making this whole building handicap capable. Thank you.
Thank you, Kathy.
Jamie Ann and I have Sugar Mama Sweet Shop we're converting into the Beacon Road. And we have some questions about what's going on downtown. Obviously, we chose to close up and renovate now rather than wait until fall because we thought it would be a better time to take advantage of a kind of poor situation downtown. But in the meantime, we were planning on trying to reopen the end of this month, beginning of next month, and kind of questioning what the time frame of the start of the actual streetscape is going to be. And then another issue that I would like to bring up is currently, kind of like what she was saying, we do have a lot of handicapped clients, a lot of people in wheelchairs, a lot of people with walkers. The gravel holes that are in front of our establishment currently, is there going to be some type of metal plate laid down or something to make wheelchair accessibility easier for our clients who are handicapped? And then will there be a designated handicapped parking space in the public lot? Because currently we do not have handicap parking in the public lot. And again, a lot of my customers do have wheelchairs, and right now we're renovating to try to make everything handicap accessible in my shop. But it's not going to help if we don't have that on the outside streets. And I guess my final question would be, who do I speak with about getting my sign for the parking space for my clients, and then to have it added to the actual open to public, or, pedestrians? Because I am currently not open doesn't mean that I don't plan on reopening at the end of the month. And so we do still intend on doing business downtown to just kind of take advantage of the slow point. So I'm hoping something can be done with all of those. Is there any plans for covering the sidewalk, the gravel, that we know of? Can anybody answer that question?
Unfortunately, Jamie, this is not a question and answer session. You may just come with concerns. But after the meeting, maybe Mr. Maley or the mayor could talk to you
I would
one-on-one.
appreciate, yes, that would be fantastic.
Thank you.
Alrighty, thank you.
Thank you, Jamie.
LJ DeLuca, Madam President, nice to see you, nice to see council members, all my fellow citizens back here. And ma'am, I do appreciate you and your husband coming up and bringing you here. I deal with a lot of nursing homes. I had my grandfather, to make a long story short, nursing home 8.5 years. And we went to visit and I became friends with a lot of people. We don't have the city of Massillon handicapped accessible. Totally unacceptable for handicapped people. When I was walking through the downtown Massillon, they had some yellow, the things that we have on the road, but the drop down there was about 6 feet. For an ordinary person, you're dead. For somebody in a wheelchair, you're dead twice. So, not well thought out. Not well thought out at all. Some of the businesses are coming through the back of the door. This is supposed to be an imagined Massillon plan moving forward. I went through the thing here and I got it, this dated back 2017 when it's actually been going forward. And to put here, this was in the Independent. Imagine Downtown Massillon project, as I'm quoting here, I believe this was Dave Bailey, is a project that aims to stimulate the area to be more attractive and vibrant for people in Massillon. It is Dave Bailey. The city's economic development specialist said a public meeting, so on and so forth, the president discussed the efforts planned for May 8th city council meeting. He goes on to say he's going to roll out the final plan to the public. The project aims to redevelop crippled buildings, adding life and zest to the area, historic markers. They want to do something with the alleys. I don't see any of this. I've talked to a lot of business owners. I see a lot of confusion. I see confusion from the Resi Fest that smells. I understand when I used to work here in Massillon, that used to be a vibrant thing. I guess you had to stop it. I don't know all the technicalities of Resi Fest. I'm not going to get into that. But we also have Duncan Plaza with problems now. Judge Eddie Elam, one time when I was there, he was kind of joking. He said, "You want to help me get a bag, help me pick up some papers?" He takes it seriously. He's, you know, he's serving in that son and son too. I don't think we need to open any kind of a pocketbook for Massillon for that. I think we ought to try to look at the Massillon Police Department and spend for when they didn't have breaks. You remember when they didn't have breaks in Massillon? And I talked to the Massillon Police Department. We couldn't afford to get them breaks. Okay, we got all these projects going on. It's like 101 to 10. Now, I remember the minutes of the regular meeting at Massillon City Council, May 6, 2019. I wasn't here, but I did get a copy from Diana Rowland from the internet. It said it was Bill Weaver who was attending here, and I believe that in attendance was Mayor Kathy Catazzaro Perry, Safety Director Barb Sylvester, David Milley was there, and Assistant Fire Chief Heck, and many others. But I do remember this, that Bill Weaver come up and stated, you know, about his thing, and he said, "The reason I'm telling you this is because this is about streetscape." And this was dated way back then. Bill had a lot of concerns, May 6, 2019, before it even got done, I think. He said, "The reason I'm telling you this is because I just feel this whole thing's very poorly planned. I know you would all say that it was perfectly planned, but it wasn't. Because the downtown businesses that should have been at the forefront of the planning were not even considered. And when we brought up about the businesses and how they could be compensated, how they could be helped through this mess, we were told by the City of Massillon executives, to me, what was told to me was that that wasn't our job to worry about. Okay, so you told it wasn't the business owners in downtown Massillon to worry about it. We're at a point now where we have a lot of businesses closed up. I have walked there. I'm going to ask every city council member that's in attendance today to please walk with me in downtown Massillon during this project. Bill Weaver went on to say something about that there was dust coming through all the businesses. And he said, "I'll just have to put up with that." And he did say, and I said this before and I will say it again, but what's the point of having a beautiful downtown if you're back to 1989 and have empty storefronts all over the place? We're going to have pretty trees, big deal, but I understand infrastructure, I understand all of it. I just think the timeline was way stretched out. It could have been planned where it was not the entire summer, where everything to downtown is designed to bring business to downtown. We're getting none of that. And some of that's quote unquote, but I added that there. We got Duncan Plaza going on. We got streetscape going on. We have all these other things. I think it was great that the mayor had this thing with the, you know, at the park. We got reservoir going on. Let's turn our attention to streetscape and get it done right before we need to put some masking tape on the pocketbook for the city of Massillon, for the city council members, and for everybody else, because it just isn't working. Now, I know a lot of my members here and all of my citizens in Massillon, they don't come here and they don't speak. And I know an opinion is an opinion, but I'm hearing this from a lot of people, a lot of business owners, a couple that are in here today, that's directly affecting their business. And I want to say our economic development's got to get it together. I got some new ideas I'd like to bring up to you, Dave Bailey, in Glenville, but I don't want to get into it because my time's lapsing here. Glenville has I wanted to make this because I keep mentioning about the business development about 3 or 4 times. I think it goes in here and went out some of them. But the new Victory Commerce Center in Diamond Business Park, it was done on speculation. It has what I call a cross-dock facility. That means it comes out easy and in. Now, it was like 434,000 square feet. But if you take Kmart out here, it's only like 140,000. I used to manage Kmart on 62, general manager. You're doing a great job, Dave. But again, this is about the 4th or 5th time. We got to get people in business development. And I'd be happy to talk to you as what I've done in some of my business entities and general manager of many of the businesses I've been at. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. DeLuca. Anyone else?
Yeah. George Lehman, 222 Lake Avenue, Massillon, Ohio, taxpayer. But I want to follow up on what he says. This guy right here, he's not exactly right about the businesses. Because I took some articles out of the paper. Businesses move to grow, change in Massillon. You got a business, the Tremont Coffee, they moved across the street, they expanded.
Jeff Dahl about that building right down the road. He's open for maybe expanding a business there. Chit Chat, I think, is taking over where Tremont is. But, you know, it's coming along. The businesses are, and then somebody bought up the property over here at Tommy Heinrich. I got it all right here in the paper. So, you know, I don't 100% agree with this guy right here, but I do want to comment on when Massillon was launched. Now, I was there last week, and I said I opposed the mayor on that one, you know, because I see too many other needs here in Massillon to be launching something that's going to cost a lot of money. But since that time, that was 2 years ago, I've changed my mind, and I'll tell you why. It's the economy. The economy's kicking. This is a perfect opportunity to invest in this city. And there's 6.5 million job openings in the United States unfilled right now. So at the time, I thought it was a gamble, you know, but as time went on, things started pulling into Massillon's favor as far as economic development and investing in the city. So, you know, now I'm on board with everything up to this point. The last time I checked, 80% of $1.5 million is $1.2 million. So she has a disagreement with the judge. I pulled that out of the paper too. Judge Elam had an article, somebody wrote an article in the paper the other day. I got it here, let's see. I don't know, it was about Judge Elam and the mayor having a difference about the amphitheater and the cost and everything. But you know, for $300,000, I think we should move forward on the project. And also, something to think about too is, when she got that bid, it was whatever, 1.5 million. But last week she said, if we try to tweak it, we have to reapply. So if you reapply, what are the chances of that price not being the same? Prices have changed in the last couple of years. I tell you, the economy's really moving along and things are costing more. So who's to say it's going to be the same price as the last time? So I'm just saying, you know, I think we should move forward on this amphitheater thing. And here's that Elam letter right here. I got it. But that was July 9th. Judge Elam has a better plan for Duncan Plaza. I don't necessarily agree with that, you know, because I think the citizens of Massillon need something special. You know, we're always kicking in for the teachers. Teachers need a pay raise. School needs money. Everything's getting passed. The income tax gets passed. So I think with Massillon being an older community, that amphitheater should be passed as far as the expense. You know, that could be a revenue making, amphitheater actually, you know, because the Beatles cover band's playing over here at the Lincoln Saturday. I think it's Friday or Saturday. But wouldn't you rather see them outside in an amphitheater with the nice weather? I would. But I do want to make a comment on the streetscapes with the construction delay. Now, the delay is costing the business owners money. Now, Fraser brought this up a couple years ago, or maybe even a year ago. He brought this up. You know, businesses are gonna lose money during this construction. What's the city gonna do? And I thought there was supposed to be a meeting, because the lady from the engraving place, the Barb's engraving place, talked to city council. I thought they were aware of the situation down there, and they were supposed to have a meeting to hash all this out of how the city's gonna compensate the businesses. So my only suggestion is to compensate the businesses is, because there's a 3-week delay, is work double shifts. I mean, some of the emphasis has to be on this company too. I mean, I've spoken in the past. Companies come into this city and think they can do what they want without any, recourse, but that's the only thing I can think of. You know, business owners are losing money. You know, if I was a business owner, I'd be really upset with this body right here, because that wasn't well done. They're losing money, they could lose their business. So I think with this construction delay, you ought to be talking to this construction company and saying, hey, maybe you need to work day and night to pick up some of this 3-week time you lost, because as far as I know, it was due to science problems. I think I read that in the paper, there was a science problem, plus other intricate parts, but that's what I gotta say. I mean, you know, Fraser mentioned this, I remember I was here, about the businesses being compensated while construction was going on, and I don't think it's ever been addressed. So I'll leave it at that, and I hope you vote for the amphitheater, because I think it would be a great asset to the city. Thanks.
Thank you, George.
Okay, I guess nobody else is getting it. It's gotta be my turn then. Bill Weaver, 28 ways. My question is to you, Kathy. When we met, December maybe, November even, when the city sent out the letters to the property owners instead of the business owners, that was a mistake at the beginning. But we were called into a meeting, and in that meeting, we were told that the water company would begin their work in January. Then it was, well, it's going to take a month to do the water and gas lines, then we're going to be shut down for 3 months consecutive, so about 4 months. It's going to be 7 or 8 months, because it's shut down in April, and it's not going to come back to probably the 1st of November. That's a long time, a long time. And it's much more than any of us in business ever considered. We thought it would be 4 months. It would be a month to do the water lines and the gas lines, and then it would be 3 months shut down to do the pavement. How do you explain why it's so screwed up? I mean, that it's going to take us till, I got to quit doing this because I was on TV doing this. I think we deserve an explanation as to why it's so messed up. I don't think that it was well thought out. I don't think it was well planned. I know that the bids didn't come in. It all came in overpriced, and we had to rebid again. And because of that, things weren't ordered, you know, from the construction company. And it's all been waylaid, you know. But it's not, we were basically sold a bill of goods back in December or November when we had that meeting. But not a bit of this come true, not a single bit. We deserve better than this. We deserve better than this from the council, and we deserve better than this from the administration. And I think we've been lied to, and I think we've been deceived, and I think it's been ill planned, and I think that you owe us. We're the taxpayers in this town. You owe us an explanation as to why it's happening the way it is.
Thank you, you, Mr. Weaver. Is there anyone else?
How y'all doing? I'm Jack Moore, 1739 Amherst Road. I pretty much want to revisit the amphitheater pavilion. My question is, everybody's talking about the revenue it's going to generate. I don't see how. Basically, you're going to have the same band you have now. If you want to, as everybody's saying, we can bring in bigger names, how are we going to pay them? You want to get your average one-hit wonder, $20,000. You want to bring in, say, Terry Clark, a couple hits, you're looking at 50 grand for that show. That's not including your insurance, that's not including your safety services, your trash. So I just want to see, and as far as renting pavilion, nobody's going to rent it. There's no access to charge admission to it. There's not enough room. You want to book a, say, $10,000 entertainment. How are you going to charge people to make money? Is my concern. Now, even as far as the space, I've gone down a couple times, walked the area. I cannot see the room for a pavilion that will hold enough people there to pay for the entertainment. So that's just things I'd like to be considered before any votes are done. Thank you.
Thank you, Jack. Anyone else? Seeing none. Councilman Starrett,
Make a motion that we adjourn.
second by Councilman Kramer. Meeting adjourned.